your forecast first. Sponsored by Mattex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This week with actually 3 systems passing through the area. The first one is moving through the area right now and will continue overnight tonight going into the day tomorrow. Right now we're looking at most of the precipitation to have technically already have stopped for some of us. There are still some snow bands out there and even what we call grapple, which is actually a little bit of some icy conditions that sometimes form as well. We're also looking at some freezing rain moving in as temperatures are going to be warming up. So the temperatures that you see right now are probably going to be our technical overnight low temperature before they warm up overnight tonight. Our Pontiac RV weather camera picked up on some snow showers earlier on our roofing doggone it. Those have now since come to an end there. And our winds are changing more and more out of the south. Right now they're out of the southeast, and that'll bring warmer air into the viewing area. So overnight tonight, like I said, our temperatures are technically going to be warming up, and we should in fact be into the low 40s by early tomorrow morning with rain showers. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Most people go to the mall to buy a few things, but one man found a group fighting outside instead. Plus, he was a well-loved and respected member of one community. How they honored him today. And this time of year is filled with sweet treats, why you'll want to save room for some from this baker.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
I mean, the girl was being kicked and punched in the face. You know, it was very violent, very brutal.
He's talking about a fight he witnessed. It happened at Marketplace Mall in Champaign this week. Good evening. I'm Jessica Coons in for Paul and Jennifer. Police say no one was seriously hurt in that fight, but it raised some serious concerns for the man who caught it all on camera. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live at Marketplace Mall. So, Courtney, do we know anything else about what started that fight?
Well, Jessica, police say it actually started in the food court here and moved into the parking lot. That's where Ron Baker Jr., who I talked to, encountered it. He said he was getting into his car at the time whenever it started.
I have seen things like that on social media. I've seen it on the news, but it was different to see it right there in front of my face. And again, it happened in a split second.
It's a trip many of us take often, from the mall to our car in the parking lot. But for Ron Baker Jr., Monday night at Marketplace, it ended differently.
The noise begins to get louder. I see the crowd just assemble within seconds, and then it was just fighting and a lot of yelling.
He wound up right next to this fight.
And it was just a bunch of girls apparently ganging up on one girl, and then there was another fight going on, and they were ganging up on one girl, and it just got more and more violent. And that's when I got in my car and left before it got closer to me.
Baker Jr. doesn't live in Champaign, but says he's concerned for his parents, who come to the mall often.
Or if their car was parked right there, or if they were happening to get out of their car, they would have gone right into that violent situation.
He feels there should be more patrolling to prevent these things from happening.
I would say they need more surveillance on the parking lot and more surveillance inside of the mall. Hopefully that would prevent something like this from taking place.
I reached out to the mall to get their perspective about what happened. I ended up calling, leaving a voicemail, and also sending them an email, but I have yet to hear back. Live in Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thank you. Now, police were called to that fight. They say it was over when they got there. They say they've responded to a few fights at Marketplace in the past few weeks, but they would not say if there have been more fights than normal. A Springfield man is in custody for a shooting. 47-year-old Paul Whiteside is facing several charges, including aggravated battery with a firearm. Police say Whiteside and the victim were in an argument inside of a building. They say the victim left and was shot through a window by Whiteside. Champaign police are still asking for help in a homicide investigation. Lisa Lewis was shot and killed in her car yesterday. She was in the parking lot of the Nantucket Cove apartment complex. Investigators are asking for anyone with a camera in that area to look at their footage and see if they caught anything. A juvenile is in custody after police say he and an adult were in a car with a gun. This happened at Parkland Point Apartments in Champaign last night. Police say they got a report of a possible armed subject and found a car with 2 people inside. Police say a man and a juvenile ran away from the scene. The man got away. Police recovered a loaded gun with an extended magazine. Police in Decatur arrested a gang member. 25-year-old Shawneen Comage was taken into custody for violation of parole and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Police say last week he was in a car that sped off when it encountered a police vehicle. They later found that car and Comage inside. Police ran his name and found that he's a member of the Black Peastone Nation gang. We've got new details in an embezzlement case. Police say the suspect met the man she's accused of defrauding while at work. Heidi Wilson was a nurse in Sullivan. Police say she and the victim worked at the same factory. They say a friendship developed and Wilson became power of attorney. Wilson is accused of embezzling $25,000 from the victim. Police tell us they have not heard reports from other people at this time. The Illinois Law Enforcement Coalition released its stance on some key police reform proposals. This coalition is made up of 5 different law enforcement agencies. The group opposes several reforms, including eliminating cash bond. But law enforcement and lawmakers agree that this announcement will only increase the discussion between the two sides.
People don't know what it's like to be a police officer if you've never walked in our shoes. I don't know how to put it any other way.
That's an area where certainly additional discussion needs to happen. I'm looking forward to those additional discussions. Again, talking to members on both sides of the aisle.
The coalition also supported the push for more money for community resources like mental health facilities, rehab programs, and shelters. No one was seriously hurt after a car hit a garage this morning in Champaign. It happened near Kirby and Scottsdale. The driver was treated at the scene, and police are investigating how that crash happened. The COVID-19 vaccine won't be widely available for everyone until next year, but one health department just wants it to be available at all. Vermilion County is still waiting on its shipment of the Pfizer vaccine. It's expected soon, but the VA has already received its shipment of a Moderna vaccine. When Pfizer's does come in, it will first go to healthcare workers. ICU bed usage has gone up slightly in Region 6 because of COVID cases. They're now at 66%. Meanwhile, Region 3 has decreased to 74%. The positivity rate has gone up slightly to 8.8%. There are more than 5,600 new cases in the state. Another 106 people have died. Over in Lincoln, the area is under a mandatory water conservation order. Illinois American Water says it's for repairs at a treatment facility. Crews are finished fixing an electrical issue, but that order is still in effect. They want people to limit use of dishwashers or laundry machines and to take showers instead of filling bathtubs. The company expects to lift that order come tomorrow. Plenty of news from Illinois football. What big name is coming back? Who's going pro? And a look at the new offensive coordinator. And our Gift of Life blood drive is this week, and today was our turn to give. How and where you could help out tomorrow.
And it's been a little bit of a mixed bag with some precipitation out there already this evening. It's kind of going to be the way things are going to be for the rest of the week. Kind of seeing some rain, some snow, some mix all at times. Right now, you can see, though, that from Pontiac, things are quiet there. But earlier on, some snow showers were falling. We topped out today, though, at 32 in Champaign, near the average of 34. So it's a very messy forecast with 3 systems coming through, giving us rainy, messy, roller coaster temperatures as well. Snow and ice, it's all there. We'll talk about it next.
WCIA